everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Ride Heisaber from Kamen Rider GO. Alright, so two things real quick. First of all, Heisaber, fantastic pun. A+ on the puns. Well done, Bandai or Toei or whoever's coming up with these names. Probably Toei, I guess. Fantastic pun. Heisaber, I love it. Two, this box art is beautiful. They did a fantastic job of displaying all 20 of the Heisei riders. Geo over here in his decayed form. Fantastic. Love it. I'm a big fan of all of this. So I think this is a really beautiful box. So I wanted to give props for that. Taking a look at the bottom of the packaging, we just see the Heisaber and a close-up of the decayed form face. On this side, you have, again, another picture of his decayed form. Also, I can't say decayed form without thinking of Thundercats. You know, ancient spirits of evil transformed this decayed form to Mum-Ra. So, I'm sorry, I just had to mention that. Anyway, here's Geo, here's Decayed. Here is the decayed form. Decade, I don't know, some people say decayed because I feel like that's how they say it on the show. Decayed. But then, like, obviously it's decade, so I don't know. Some people... What's official? If you guys want to vote, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. Although it'll be hard for you to say in text how you pronounce something. So have fun with that. Anyway, looking at the top of the box, again, another picture of the form and the weapon. Shows you a little preview of the sounds that it makes. Of course, we would attach the Decayed watch, and you can also attach other watches. So, a lot of fun to be had with this thing. Does require 2 AAA batteries, which you must provide on your own. They do not come included. But man, I love that box art. Really, really nice. Let's go ahead and get this guy out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. Here it is, the DX Ride Heisaber out of the packaging here. It's a decent length. I mean, for a Japanese roleplay sword toy, you know, they're usually pretty short when it comes to the blade, but not too bad. Really nice display. We'll get there in a second. Mostly light gray, a little bit of gold paint. And then some translucent pink plastic edge. The blade edge of the sword, very, very soft. So probably wouldn't injure someone with this too badly. Doesn't mean you should hit them with it, but soft blade. Yeah, so again, really nice LED display here. This is where you open it up, unscrew, put your 2 AAA batteries. Speaker on and off switch. Go ahead and pop this on. So when you hit the trigger, you get this generic slash sound. But it allows you to light up the display. So you have a really big decayed symbol at the top, which makes sense because that's the form that uses this. But then otherwise you have everything from Kuga through build. So that's really cool. I love seeing all the symbols in there. I think that's really fun. Otherwise, on its own, slash sound. The other main gimmick, obviously, is the clock here. So if you turn it once, so it says, hey, Buildo, and it'll say, hey, whichever one you click to. So the next one will be Xaid. So it always says, hey, whatever rider you're on, and then it says dial time break. So I'm not going to do that for every single one because it's literally just going to be the same attack sound, but I will cycle through so that you hear all of the names. So you can hear there, it just goes all the way around again. If you get to Kuga and then you just keep cycling through, you'll hear that it goes back around to build. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. But it'll always do that dial time break after whoever you pick. So if you just go crazy with it, it just lands on whoever is in succession. So there you go, Kiva, dial time break. Now if you try to bend it the other way, so you can see that going like backwards doesn't change the direction. So if I go, you can go either way and it doesn't like go backwards. Like it's not like it's gonna go build, Xade, Ghost, and then if I go back it'll go Xade. No, it'll just go to the next one, Drive. So it doesn't really matter which way you flip that around, and it doesn't, the direction does not tell you which way you're moving across the timeline of riders. But yeah, otherwise that's pretty much it for nothing attached. Let's go ahead and attach the Decade Ride Watch. Alright, so as soon as we attach this, it's going to go into an attack mode, at which point I will just flip it once to show you the sound effects. So I did let you hear some of that excellent music, and I used the opportunity to have the light up display shown off a little bit more. But you can hear that it just makes the watch itself say Decade, and then it'll say build, scramble time, break. The cool thing is, though, when you have a watch attached, you can actually build, you can actually add to the roster. So let me demonstrate. So it'll actually say all three names. So I think that's pretty cool. It'll just keep building the list, but only when you have the watch attached. As I showed you earlier, if you don't have the watch attached, it'll just keep cycling through and do whichever one you finally land on. If you go crazy with the thing, so as you heard there, if you just spin it around, eventually it'll hit to a spot where it just says, hey, Kamen Riders. And then it'll do an ultimate Heisei Kamen Rider break, which is assumingly using the power of all the riders. So I think that's kind of fun. And it always just makes the watch say its own name. And, but yeah, I think those are definitely some fun sound effects. But I want to show you what happens if we use a watch that's not Decade. Alright, so I just happen to have Gaim handy. Go ahead and pop him on. So it's really no different. The only difference is because it's the Gaim watch itself will say Gaim, but all the sounds from the sword are exactly the same. This thing is not a reader. It doesn't know what watch you have attached. It just knows a watch is attached because the watch being attached pushes a button down and keeps it depressed all the time while it's attached. So that's how the sword knows to make different sounds. So I don't want to say that's a bummer because I don't think anyone really expected this to be a reader. It's just kind of like the other weapons where it makes different sounds depending on what you have attached because it depresses a button down. None of the other weapons are readers as well, but it does. It makes the watch eyes light up and say its own name. So I think that's fun. If you want to go ahead and pop it off, you just press this button on the back, and that will release it so that you can go ahead and pop it off. I would say that's pretty much it for the sound effects, but I do think it's a pretty decent amount of sound effects. So I actually think this is a pretty fun toy. I really like the design of it. I think the clock face with the 2 clock hands is really neat. I love the LED display. The fact that it's got the symbols for every rider from the Heisei generation is really nice. When you have nothing attached, you have the sound effect of you can click through and have it say every rider's name, which is really cool. You have the generic slash sound, which is kind of meh, but I mean, those are always meh, let's be honest. Once you attach a watch, it has functionality by making the watch say its own name. It also has the ability to do a different attack, the scramble attack, where it can actually accumulate the names, and it'll say all the ones you go through until you eventually hit that point where it just says all common riders. So I think there's a lot of fun sound effects in here, a lot of fun attack names. The LED is beautiful. I like the connectivity with different ride watches. Of course, it doesn't have a reader, but I didn't really think anyone expected it to, given the price point and the size of the thing. And it would have to have a ridiculous amount of sounds programmed into it if it did have a reader, if it was going to make the sword say different things. I think the functionality is perfect for what it is, and for the price point, it makes the watch say its own name, so that way you don't have to have it programmed into the sword. It's just a smarter way of doing it, in my opinion. But I definitely think it's a fun roleplay toy. Definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're a fan of the Decade form like I am. Then you're definitely going to want to pick this up. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.